The 1932 Lincoln wheat penny occupies a unique space in the landscape of American numismatics, a year etched into history not just for its coins but for the backdrop against which they were minted. The United States was deep in the throes of the Great Depression, a time when breadlines stretched for blocks, banks shuttered their doors, and the idea of collecting coins for pleasure seemed almost absurd. Yet, it is precisely this context that makes the 1932 wheat penny a compelling artifact, a small, copper alloy relic of resilience, scarcity, and enduring value. While millions of these pennies were struck, the combination of economic hardship, subsequent melting drives, and the passage of time has rendered high-grade examples exceedingly rare. A 1932 Lincoln wheat penny in pristine condition, particularly those with specific mint marks or errors, can command prices upwards of $2,300, a figure that transforms a once common cent into a numismatic treasure. The 1932 issue is part of the long-running Lincoln Wheat series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features Lincoln's profile, a design that has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The reverse, with its twin wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America, is a symbol of agrarian prosperity, a poignant contrast to the economic despair of the early 1930s. The 1932 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D., and San Francisco, S., with the latter two facilities producing significantly fewer coins due to reduced demand during the Depression. Philadelphia struck approximately 9 million pennies, Denver produced 10.5 million, and San Francisco minted just 3.4 million. These numbers, while substantial at the time, pale in comparison to the billions of pennies produced in later decades, and survival rates for uncirculated specimens are remarkably low. What elevates a 1932 wheat penny to a four-figure valuation? The answer lies in three pillars: condition, mint mark, and errors. Let's begin with condition. Coins from this era were subjected to decades of circulation, wartime scrap metal drives, which saw millions of pennies melted for their copper content, and indifferent storage. A 1932 penny in well-worn, brown BN condition might trade for $1 to $5, a modest premium over face value. However, examples graded mint state, MS, with original red luster, designated as red, RD, by grading services, enter another realm entirely. The Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1, poor, to 70, perfect, becomes critical here. A 1932 penny graded MS64 red might sell for $200 to $400, but jump to MS66 red, and prices escalate to $1,500 or more. The pinnacle, MS67 red, is where the $2,300 threshold is breached. These coins are time capsules, exhibiting full, fiery red color, razor-sharp details in Lincoln's beard and coat, and no visible marks under 5x magnification. Fewer than a dozen examples across all mints are believed to exist in this condition, making them trophies for advanced collectors. Mint marks further stratify the market. The 1932 wheat penny is the undisputed king of the series. With a mintage of just 3.4 million, it is the lowest of the three issues and among the rarest regular issue wheat pennies of the 1930s. Even in lower grades, the 1932 carries a premium. A circulated example in good 4 condition might fetch $50 to $75, while an uncirculated MS63 red can reach $1,200 to $1,800. The Philadelphia and Denver issues are more affordable but still coveted in top grades. A 1932D in MS67 red sold for $2,300 in a 2021 Heritage Auction sale, underscoring the demand for superlative examples. The Philadelphia issue, despite its higher mintage, is elusive in gem mint state, with PCGS reporting only 5 coins graded MS67 red as of 2023. Errors and varieties add another layer of intrigue. The 1932 pennies are not known for dramatic double dies like their 1955 or 1972 counterparts, but subtle repunched mint marks, RPMs, and die cracks can enhance value. For instance, the 1932D RPM1 variety, where the D mint mark shows evidence of being punched twice, is sought after by specialists. These varieties require magnification to identify but can add a 20% to 50% premium to the coin's value. More dramatic errors, such as off-center strikes or clipped planchets, are exceptionally rare for this year but would command four-figure sums if authenticated. The journey to authenticate and grade a 1932 wheat penny is a meticulous process. Collectors must first verify the coin surfaces under controlled lighting, checking for signs of cleaning, corrosion, or environmental damage. Artificial toning, often applied to mimic natural patina, can deceive novice collectors but is easily spotted by experts. Next, the coin's strike quality is assessed. Weak strikes, common in early 1930s pennies due to worn dies, reduce value. A strong strike will show full separation between Lincoln's ear and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Finally, the presence of original luster, a cartwheel effect that radiates from the coin center when tilted under light, is a hallmark of an uncirculated specimen. Historical context deepens the allure of the 1932 penny. The coin entered circulation during one of America's darkest economic periods. Banks were failing at a rate of 40 per month, unemployment hovered near 25%, and families struggled to afford basic necessities. Pennies from this year might have been clutched in the hands of children buying penny candies, dropped into collection plates at church services, or saved in jars as part of meager emergency funds. Each surviving 1932 wheat penny carries the weight of these stories, a tangible link to an era defined by both hardship and hope. For collectors, the hunt for a high-grade 1932 wheat penny is equal parts passion and patience. Estate sales, antique shops, and online auctions are fertile ground, but the majority of uncirculated coins advertised are actually cleaned or impaired. Building a relationship with a reputable dealer or submitting coins to grading services like PCGS or NGC is essential. Third-party grading not only authenticates the coin but also encapsulates it in a tamper-evident holder, preserving its condition and enhancing its liquidity. The market for 1932 wheat pennies is driven by a combination of nostalgia, historical significance, and the thrill of rarity. Baby boomers, often the primary buyers, are drawn to these coins as relics of their parents' or grandparents' era. Younger collectors, meanwhile, are captivated by the challenge of acquiring a coin that has survived nearly a century in pristine condition. Auction results over the past decade show a steady appreciation in value for high-grade examples, with record prices being set during periods of economic uncertainty, as investors seek tangible assets. In the end, the 1932 Lincoln wheat penny is more than a collectible, it is a microcosm of American history. From its birth in the depths of the Great Depression to its current status as a numismatic prize, this coin embodies the enduring appeal of scarcity, craftsmanship, and the stories we entrust to metal. Whether tucked into an album, displayed in a museum, or traded between collectors, the 1932 wheat penny remains a testament to the idea that even the smallest objects can carry immense significance. The 1938D Lincoln wheat penny occupies a curious space in the pantheon of American numismatics, straddling the line between the commonplace and the extraordinary. Struck at the Denver Mint during a period of cautious optimism as the United States continued its slow climb out of the Great Depression, this coin is both a product of its time and a testament to the enduring appeal of condition rarity. With a mintage of 20,010,000 pieces, the 1938D is far from the scarcest wheat penny, yet examples in pristine, gem-quality condition have realized prices exceeding $2,700, a valuation that underscores the delicate interplay of survival rates, collector demand, and historical resonance. The late 1930s were a time of transition for the U.S. Mint and the nation. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs had injected vitality into a faltering economy, but unemployment remained stubbornly high, and the looming specter of global conflict began to reshape industrial priorities. The Denver Mint, operational since 1906, was tasked with producing coinage for a nation still heavily reliant on cash transactions. The 1938D wheat penny, with its familiar Victor David Brenner obverse design and twin wheat stalks on the reverse, entered circulation amid this backdrop. Unlike the rare 1931S or the celebrated 1909S VDB, the 1938D was not immediately recognized as a key date. Its initial obscurity, however, belied the challenges of preservation. Widespread circulation, combined with the copper-hungry scrap drives of World War II, ensured that the majority of these pennies were spent into oblivion or melted for munitions. Today, locating a 1938D in original mint state condition, free from cleaning, corrosion, or significant wear, is a pursuit that rewards both diligence and luck. Grading is the linchpin of value for the 1938D wheat penny. Coins are evaluated on the Sheldon scale, a 70-point system where MS60 denotes uncirculated status and MS70 represents perfection. For the 1938D, the leap from MS65 red to MS67 red is where prices escalate exponentially. A 1938D graded MS65 red might trade for $400 to $600, while an MS67 red, a condition so pristine that even under 5x magnification, no discernible marks disrupt the surfaces, can command $2,000 to $2,700 at auction. The distinction lies in the interplay of luster, strike, and color. Original red, RD, coins, which retain their fiery copper brilliance, are exponentially more valuable than their brown, BN, counterparts. Over time, copper oxidizes, transitioning from red to reddish-brown, RB, and finally to brown. Coins stored in rolls, bank bags, or arid environments are more likely to preserve their original hue, while those exposed to humidity or pollutants degrade faster. The Denver Mint's production practices further influence the 1938D's numismatic profile. Dies used in the late 1930s often exhibited wear from overuse, leading to weakly struck details on Lincoln's beard, coat, or the wheat ears. A sharply struck 1938D, with full separation between Lincoln's ear and the wheat stalks on the reverse, is a rarity. Collectors prize these coins for their aesthetic appeal, as they showcase Brenner's design in its intended clarity. Die varieties add another layer of complexity. The 1938D is known for several repunched mint mark, RPM, configurations, where the D was stamped multiple times, creating slight overlaps or distortions. These varieties, catalogued by specialists like John Wexler and Kevin Flynn, are sought after by completists building advanced wheat penny sets. While not as lucrative as the famed 1955 double die, a 1938D with a pronounced RPM might command a 20% to 40% premium over a standard coin in the same grade. Market dynamics for the 1938D reflect broader trends in copper coin collecting. Baby boomers, downsizing their collections, often bring high-grade examples to market, while younger collectors, leveraging online platforms like heritage auctions and coin talk forums, compete aggressively for top-tier specimens. Population reports from grading services underscore the scarcity of gem-quality 1938D pennies. As of 2023, PCGS has certified fewer than 15 examples in MS67 red, with NGC reporting similar numbers. This scarcity, coupled with strong demand from registry set collectors, those vying for top rankings in curated collections, has driven prices upward. A 1938D graded MS67 red by PCGS with a CAC sticker, denoting superior quality within the grade, sold for $2,700 in a 2022 auction, setting a benchmark for the issue. Authentication remains a critical concern. Counterfeiters have been known to alter common Philadelphia minted pennies, lacking a mint mark, to mimic the 1938D, using engraving tools to add a D that mimics the mint's original punch. Close inspection under magnification often reveals tooling marks or inconsistencies in the metal's flow around the mint mark. Additionally, artificial toning, applied through heat or chemicals to mimic natural patina, can deceive novice collectors. Reputable dealers and grading services employ X-ray fluorescence, XRF, analyzers to verify the coin's metallic composition, ensuring it matches the 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc alloy standard for the era. The 1938D's historical context enriches its narrative. This penny circulated as the New Deal's public works projects, bridges, highways, and dams, reshaped the American landscape. It might have been pocketed by a Works Progress Administration worker, dropped into a jukebox during the swing music craze, or saved in a child's piggy bank as the nation inched toward post-war prosperity. The Denver Mint itself, housed in a neoclassical building at the foot of the Rocky Mountains, operated under the pressures of meeting coinage demands while maintaining quality, a balance that occasionally resulted in the errors and varieties collectors now prize. Preservation techniques are paramount for copper coins. Collectors store high-grade 1938D pennies in inert mylar flips or acrylic slabs, avoiding polyvinyl chloride, PVC, holders, which can leach chemicals and cause green corrosion. Humidity-controlled environments, ideally below 50% relative humidity, slow oxidation, while handling coins by the edges minimizes fingerprint damage. Some enthusiasts use silica gel packets in storage boxes to absorb excess moisture, though excessive dryness can lead to brittle surfaces. The 1938D wheat penny's journey from circulation workhorse to numismatic star mirrors the evolution of coin collecting itself. Once dismissed as too common for serious attention, it now occupies a niche where condition rarity trumps mintage figures. For the collector, acquiring a gem-quality 1938D is both an investment and an act of preservation, a way to safeguard a tangible piece of Depression-era history. In its surfaces, one can trace the story of a nation navigating economic recovery, the quiet diligence of the Denver Mint, and the enduring human impulse to find value in the mundane. As the market for high-grade copper coins continues to mature, the 1938D wheat penny stands as a reminder that rarity is not always a matter of scarcity, but often of survival. The 1942 Lincoln wheat penny emerges from a world gripped by global conflict, a modest copper sentinel of everyday life during the seismic shifts of World War II. As the United States mobilized for war, rationing materials from rubber to sugar, the mint continued its production of cents, though the composition of these coins would soon change dramatically. The 1942 issue represents the last full year of the traditional bronze alloy, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, before the wartime emergency prompted the switch to zinc-coated steel in 1943. This transitional status, combined with the challenges of preserving copper coins through decades of circulation and scrap drives, has rendered high-grade examples of the 1942 wheat penny surprisingly elusive. Specimens in pristine, gem-quality condition, particularly those from the Denver Mint, can command prices nearing $2,500, a figure that elevates this common date coin into the realm of numismatic prestige. Mintage figures for the 1942 wheat penny reflect the scale of a nation preparing for total war. The Philadelphia Mint led production with 657,796,000 coins, followed by Denver at 206,698,000 and San Francisco with 85,590,000. These numbers, colossal by pre-war standards, underscore the penny's role in a cash-driven economy. Yet survival rates for uncirculated examples are staggeringly low. Copper's critical role in shell casings, wiring, and machinery made pennies a target of homefront patriotism. Millions were donated to scrap drives, melted into ingots, and lost to history. Those that survived often circulated heavily, their details worn smooth by countless transactions. Today, locating a 1942 wheat penny with original mint luster, sharp strikes, and unimpaired surfaces requires equal parts knowledge, patience, and serendipity. The value hierarchy of the 1942 issue hinges on mint mark, condition, and the presence of errors. Philadelphia coins, no mint mark, are the most plentiful, yet even these can reach four figures in top grades. A 1942 cent graded MS-67 red by PCGS or NGC might sell for $1,200 to $1,800, while Denver's 1942D commands higher premiums due to its lower mintage and regional circulation patterns. In MS-67 red, the 1942D has realized $2,000 to $2,500 at auction, with San Francisco's 1942S trailing slightly at $1,500 to $2,000 for equivalent grades. The price divergence stems from population reports. As of 2023, PCGS has certified only 7 1942D examples in MS-67 red, compared to 15 for Philadelphia and 12 for San Francisco. These figures, while minuscule relative to original mintages, reflect the intense competition among registry set collectors vying for the finest known specimens. Grading nuances separate the exceptional from the ordinary. Under the Sheldon scale, MS-65 red coins exhibit full detail with minor bag marks or hairline scratches visible under magnification. MS-66 red specimens approach perfection, with marks confined to inconspicuous areas, while MS-67 red coins present flawless surfaces under 5x scrutiny. Original red luster, a blazing, cartwheel brilliance that dances across the fields when tilted, is the defining trait. Copper's reactivity means most surviving 1942 pennies have toned to brown, BN, or reddish-brown, RB, but examples preserved in rolls, bank bags, or arid climates retain their fiery hue. Color consistency is paramount. Splotchy or uneven toning, even in red coins, can reduce value by 30% or more. Strike quality further differentiates premiums. Wartime production pressures led to softer strikes, particularly on Lincoln's cheekbone and the reverse wheat ears. Coins with bold, sharp details, where Lincoln's beard exhibits individual whiskers and the wheat stalks show full separation, are prized outliers. Error varieties add layers of intrigue. The 1942D is celebrated among specialists for its repunched mint mark, RPM, variations, catalogued as RPM 1 through RPM 5. These occur when the D mint mark was punched into the die multiple times, creating overlapping or distorted letters. RPM 1, the most pronounced, shows a secondary D slightly northwest of the primary mark, visible under 10x magnification. While not as dramatic as the 1955 doubled die, these varieties command 20% to 50% premiums in all grades. Another notable anomaly is the 1942 transitional error, a copper penny struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet intended for 1943 production. Only a handful exist, with prices exceeding $100,000, but their legend fuels endless searches through ordinary 1942 cents. More accessible are off-center strikes, 5% to 10% misalignment, which can fetch $50 to $300 depending on severity, and clip planchets, where incomplete blanks create crescent-shaped indentations. Historical context imbues the 1942 wheat penny with narrative weight. This coin circulated as ration books governed household consumption, victory gardens sprouted in backyards, and factories retooled for wartime production. A 1942 penny might have bought a newspaper headlining the Doolittle Raid, been dropped into a USO donation jar, or jingled in the pocket of a Rosie the Riveter commuting to a defense plant. The Denver Mint, operating under the strain of increased demand, prioritized quantity over quality, leading to the weaker strikes and die varieties collectors now scrutinize. San Francisco's output, though smaller, served a West Coast economy transformed by military bases and shipyards. Authentication challenges loom large. Counterfeiters often alter Philadelphia coins to mimic the scarcer Denver or San Francisco issues, using engraving tools to add mint marks. Telltale signs include mismatched patina around the mint mark, tooling marks, or incorrect font styles. Artificial toning, applied via heat, sulfur, or chemicals, can mimic natural oxidation but often appear splotchy or iridescent under LED light. Professional grading services employ X-ray fluorescence, XRF, to verify metallic composition, ensuring coins match the 95% copper standard. Collectors should also beware of doctored coins, examples polished to simulate mint luster or hairlined from improper cleaning. Market dynamics reflect the interplay of scarcity and nostalgia. Baby boomers, inheriting collections from parents who lived through World War II, often bring high-grade 1942 pennies to market. Millennial collectors, leveraging online platforms like Heritage Auctions and Coin Community Forum, compete aggressively for top population coins, driving prices upward. The 1,942D's ascent to $2,500 mirrors trends in semi-key date wheat pennies, where condition rarity eclipses mintage figures. Auction results from 2020 to 2023 show a 15% annual appreciation for MS67 red examples, outpacing many traditional investments. Preservation tactics are critical for copper's longevity. Collectors store high-grade 1942 cents in archival quality holders, avoiding PVC, which leaches destructive chlorides, and maintains stable humidity, 40 to 50% RH, to prevent verdigris. Handling coins by the edges minimizes fingerprint acids, while silica gel packets in storage boxes combat moisture. Some enthusiasts use inert gas capsules to slow oxidation, though purists argue this disrupts natural toning, a feature prized by certain collectors. The 1942 wheat penny's journey from pocket change to numismatic star encapsulates the alchemy of collecting, ordinary objects transformed by time, care, and historical resonance. For the collector, acquiring a gem-quality 1942D is not merely an acquisition but an act of curation, a way to safeguard a tangible fragment of the home for an experience. In its surfaces lie echoes of assembly lines and air raid drills, victory bonds and V-mail, a nation balancing the mundane and the monumental. As metal detectors unearth caches of corroded cents and estate sales yield forgotten rolls, the 1942 wheat penny endures, a humble witness to an era when every scrap of copper mattered, and every penny told a story.